I now invite Mr. Ganapathy Sankarabaaham, founder and CEO of Vajra Global Consulting and Excite to Create, to deliver the inaugural address to the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. So it gives me immense pleasure to be here today. AI is a topic that's personally very interesting for me. We do a lot of work in the space of AI, and talking about AI has been my real passion for the last year and a half so much. So first of all, I want to thank for the opportunity. I think Vice Principal Dr. Janet Manila, HOD of Commerce, Dr. Nirmala Mohan, Conference Convener Dr. Johanna Jasmine, and Associate Dean Dr. Raja Singh, who kind of introduced me to Dr. Johanna as well. So esteemed professors, dignitaries who are present here today, and all the future leaders that I have in front of me as well. So thank you. It's really a pleasure to be here today. So what I try to cover in the next 15 minutes is to tell how AI is around us, AI is critical, and why each one of you should take AI seriously as part of your career choices, right? So if I have to kind of think through and give you an example, in today, if you have to imagine the life of a student, right, life of any one of you, if you have to imagine and think about how AI plays a critical role in each and every day for you, right? So if you have to imagine the day, most of you would probably wake up to an alarm on a smartphone or a smartwatch. Typically, if you have a smartwatch, it would have measured your heart rate over the night. It would have looked at your sleep pattern. It can potentially, based off how much was your heart rate, how well you slept, could actually recommend what you could exercise that day, or could also recommend a healthy breakfast for you, right? It's possible today, and you have that. Second, let's say you want to go out for a run. You could use your smartwatch or your phone to help you find the best route that you could take for that day to run for that particular day. It can probably help you to choose the right songs based on the day and based on your choice that day. It can create a playlist for you. So you have Spotify, Amazon Music, which could do that. Then you potentially decide, finish the run, you want to get to college. During the work, you want to start looking at Google. There's a topic that's been talked about. You want to go to the search engine. You start searching for a particular topic, and then you start knowing about it. Now, what powers the search is, again, AI that's behind the scene working on it. During the day, if you have your assistants, be it an Alexa, be it a Siri on your phone, or a Google Assistant, it can help you to keep track of your schedule, can give you reminders during the day if you have to get an assignment completed. So there is every step without knowing, I think you are doing it. And as you get back to the day, let's say you want to watch a Netflix series, the recommendations that come through, or let's say you want to play a game on your mobile phone or on your computer, the scenarios that gets generated, how the characters behave, the behavioral part of the characters in a game, all of that is determined through AI. So in every example I just talked to you about, from morning to evening, there is AI around you. You are using AI continuously through the day. Now, if AI has been around and all of us have been using AI, then the question comes as, why is there a sudden interest? Why is the media, why is everybody talking about AI in the last 1.5, 2 years? I think it's one of the important things is the hardware technology. AI has been in research since 1960s, but the potential to deploy AI, the hardware has been made available only in the recent times. You would have heard about GPU, you would have heard about a company named NVIDIA, which has kind of created some of the cutting-edge GPU or graphical processing units that has made a lot of this AI possible today. One is that. to using those technology and some of the recent inventions called transformers, which Google did in 2016-17, you had the invention, or you had the launch of ChatGPT in 2022, right? I'm assuming each one of you here must have used ChatGPT at least a few times, or how many of you use ChatGPT every day? Nobody? None of you use ChatGPT? Then you should start thinking about it, okay? So ChatGPT is an important tool. It can let you be a great assistant if you know what you want to do. And if you really start looking at it, this ChatGPT created an opportunity for doing a lot of content generation, image generation, doing marketing work. That created a tremendous amount of interest. It created a new area where each of these businesses could start using AI for their own purposes. So that created the interest in AI today. Now let's probably think about what potentially could be the business use cases that are there in the market today. You have multiple use cases that we can look at, right? One, we talked about Netflix and recommendations. So recommendation engines are an important thing. So if you look at marketing, today I'm sure most of you would have seen in Google, let's say you search something, after a while you see ads. So if you want to try and book a ticket, let's say you want to book a ticket to Bangalore, and you have looked at that on a particular website, say Make My Trip, and then you leave the website, go do something else, read a news, then you see an ad that shows that you want to buy tickets for Bangalore, right? So that ability to personalize for your need, show you advertisements, is one part of it. So we call it targeted marketing or targeted campaigns. That is powered by Google and AI, right? Now similarly, in terms of Amazon, all of you would have purchased goods. Now, the way the goods get delivered, Amazon started some years back, they talked about same-day delivery or next-day delivery, right? And how did the optimization happen from packing the goods in the warehouse to shipping and that product reaching you? All of that happened through AI, right? The AI-powered algorithms that determine the route, that determine the details. Now, we have gone from that day to Swiggy or even Zepto, which talks about 10-minute deliveries. Now, how does 10-minute delivery happen all the time? So one, yes, I think they need to have nearer, or what we call small warehouses, which are available near customer places, and then they're able to deliver, or they're able to pick it up from a store, give it to you. But in the long run, AI will help determine what needs to be stocked in which warehouse. It can predict the demand of customers. You can look up, Amazon is working on a patent called predictive shipping. So they are starting to say in 3 days from now, somebody, let's say you take the area of Tambaram, this is the number of goods that will be ordered today. And they are trying to predict that and ship that in such a way the goods are ready in the warehouse, and when the order gets placed, you are able to deliver it on time. So that's in terms of moving from marketing to supply chain. Then comes the area of fraud detection, right? So banks, financial institutions are trying to figure out more modern algorithms that can help you to determine fraud, determine where somebody is trying to cheat or get the data out of you. So that's something that's also been looked at in terms of fraud detection. Then we are looking at customer service automation, right? So today, I don't know how many of you have tried Airtel app. 5 years ago, if your modem is not working, you need to call the customer service and have them reboot your modem remotely. Now, it can be done through the help of a bot, which is there within your Airtel Thanks app. So you can actually set up your service, and then the bot does the service for you. So that's just a very simple automation that could be done, but you could get to further levels of customer automation. ChatGPT, when you start using, you would see you can have a natural language conversation. It is not trained on specific questions and answers like your traditional chatbot. This is able to determine what you are asking. It is able to understand that, and it is able to then answer in real time, understanding your question, right? So this is some examples, right? I think we could go on talking about in every industry from retail to insurance to other industries. I think later in the session you have people from retail and insurance talking to you about use cases, so I'm not going to bore you more with that. But I think I want to move from business to another important area, which is governance, right? If you even look at the Indian government, I think you should all look at this website called India AI. It's an initiative from the government, and they have tremendous amount of case studies, examples of how AI is being used in government and also in the private sector. Now, some of the simple examples that all of you would be aware of is Aadhaar, right? Now, Aadhaar collected biometrics. Now, based on that, they have created something called as Aadhaar-enabled payment system. So where you are able to use your fingerprint to provide services, to provide payments or to receive payments. Now, in this, I talked about fraud detection earlier. So there was a scenario where the fingerprints could be spoofed. And if somebody copies your fingerprint, so they have developed an AI algorithm to find out if the fingerprint that has been presented, whether it is a real fingerprint or a live fingerprint, or is it an image. So the AI is able to detect it, and it is able to solve for identifying the fraud scenarios which exist. Same thing if I go to UPI. Now UPI, and most of you would have seen in your banking algorithms that you are potentially looking at a face detection, right? When you log into your application, it can detect your face and it can authenticate your payments through face. Now NPCI, which is National Payments Commission of India, I think they are using the UPI through face detection and AI-powered payments. They are also now working on conversational payments, where you could talk to your device, and through that you can authenticate and make a payment, right? You all would have heard about Chandrayaan-3. Chandrayaan-2 had a failure, and Chandrayaan-3 did the launch of the Land Rover, or the Moon Rover, right? And the launch was actually made successful using the sensors and the AI part itself, right? So I think that's kind of how we have been able to potentially work through AI in every form of the government as well. And there are more cases to talk about. I'll probably stop here for now. Now, going into how AI will evolve in future, and as each one of you get into your work, career, commerce, as you start becoming business leaders, the areas that you need to be aware of are three things that you could look out for. One, I would call it as generative AI. ChatGPT is an example of generative AI. Generative AI helps in generating content, generating images, generating and solving for numbers and media, right? So we, part of Excite, we have published 2 white papers. If you are interested to know more about generative AI, you should look them up. It talks about how generative AI is applied to business and how a business can adopt generative AI into their work, right? So one of the things that we talk about is a framework called WINS, which stands for words, images, numbers, and sound. Sound basically translates to multimedia. If any business activity uses or has WINS kind of work, then that could be used generative AI, right? The other important thing that you need to watch out for, apart from generative AI, is what we call as edge computing or edge AI. Now, edge is basically smart computers that can be in devices. It can be at the point of delivery of service. An example could be an autonomous car. So you don't need to have an AI sitting somewhere in a server and trying to communicate to a car, but you have AI that runs on the car itself, that allows for self-driving, that allows for navigation. So there are multiple use cases that could be worked through from there. Now, these are two more from a technology perspective. Now, what is also important as students of commerce is also to think about, is AI going to be used in the right way in the business, right? So there is something what we would call as responsible AI. So it is about thinking through how AI can be used responsibly. When I say responsibly, it is in terms of using it for the right reasons, using it ethically, being transparent, and we also talk about what is called as an explainable AI. So every decision that you are making using AI, you should be able to explain the details of how it is being made and how it is being used, right? So that's going to be critical in terms of how you look at AI as you get into the business. Now, why you should be interested? Because number one, if you really look at the career opportunities that is going to evolve, AI is going to be extremely an attractive field, and there's going to be tremendous amount of potential as you look at the next 3 to 5 years. So each one of you who is passing out will have to understand AI, will have to know how to use AI in business, right? Now, how would AI be used in business? Let's say I was talking to a niece of mine over the weekend who's a chartered accountant, and she's working in a firm. And they are talking about how AI could be used by chartered accountants, what they could do in terms of accounting, what they could use in terms of reconciliation. They are already doing courses within their firm to know more about AI and implementing AI for their clients, right? So similarly, there are going to be like how you would probably today somebody will tell you no Microsoft Excel, no Microsoft Word, PowerPoint. These are critical tools for you to get and work in a business. I would say similarly is what is going to be AI as well. So start using AI from that point of view. AI can be a great tool as you get into the career for problem solving. Any kind of problem that you have, if you can figure out, okay, this is the problem statement, you could use AI to find solutions, or if you have solutions, you could give it to AI to be able to fine-tune the answers for you, right? So today, IT teams use it for doing code generation. Now, which then brings up the point that each one of you don't need to know technology. If you know how to use ChatGPT, you could actually, or ChatGPT is one example, there are tremendous amount of other solutions, right? You got Gemini, you got Claude, you have Anthropic. So you could potentially look at one of those solutions, and you could actually build your own small application that can solve your problem. So suddenly, I was talking to a friend of mine who said he doesn't know coding, but for his business, he was able to launch a website, take it live, and get some customers on the website without knowing single line of code, but they had used a tool like ChatGPT to build the website and launch it. So your problem solving for your companies can be tremendously improved if you can bring the knowledge of AI. Because the existing team within the companies, they might be slow to learn AI, but it's a great opportunity for you to learn it, go with a skill set that can give you a tremendous boost in your career. Now, the problem solving can also be extended to innovation, right? Because you can think about new ideas, new concepts, and what we recommend to our customers is re-engineer your business, re-engineer your process. Think about how you could do something very effectively using AI. So you are able to reduce the time it takes to do some process. Sometimes you are able to do it faster at a higher volume. All of that is possible, right? Then it is important because you know AI, you can take roles that drive ethical AI within organizations. That are going to be roles around how ethics get implemented, how sustainability will get implemented. So there are going to be different places that you could use your AI skills within the career that can help you move forward. The logical next question is, where do I learn about AI? There is tremendous amount of tools available in the market. Start with Google. I think Google has generative AI courses that are available on Google Cloud, free courses. Similarly, Microsoft has its own set of courses. You have other places. We can share a list of applications. I think Amazon also has it. Most of what we call hyperscalers between Amazon, Google, Microsoft has free AI courses, certifications that are available. Please take that, do that. There are, on top of that, different online programs that are available that help you to learn generative AI. Attend conferences like these, listen to speakers. There are papers that get presented that will give you perspective of how AI could be applied into business. I don't think we have even scratched the surface of how AI could be applied to different parts of business. And attending some of these can open up your minds to newer ideas and new thoughts of what potentially could be done, right? So And the India AI, I said as an example, look at that. Similarly, each of the governments have different programs. The UK government, US government have their own AI websites where they promote AI and how AI is being applied to in each of those different countries. Right. So with that, I would conclude my small note. Thank you for the opportunity and best wishes for the entire conference. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable thoughts and insights on the topic leveraging AI for transformational growth in business. I am certain that this session has been enriching and engaging.